So I filmed this, I want to say 3-4 days ago, and I went back, checked the footage, and I realized for 3 or 4 books I totally said the synopsis wrong. So I was like, you know what, let's just film again. So here we go, another take.
Hey, let's just try it again, you bunch of bastards.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I want to do something a little bit different. So before, when I would talk about my reviews, I would tell you guys what book it is and go right into the review, right? But this time, I want to tell you guys what books I'm going to be reading and then come back in a couple of days and tell you about it. I'm going to start these batches of series on my channel where I read 5 or 6 or 7 romances, thrillers / mysteries, fantasies, and then tell you guys about them. It's just a way, right, really, to bring down my to be read piles and stacks that I have, because then I feel bad when I buy new books. So solution. So the first 2 I want to talk about I've actually already read, because like I said, I started filming this a couple of days ago and then all that happened. By the way, Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Friday, July 3rd.
Okay, so I think I filmed like on the 30th or something, so whatever. But July 3rd, okay? The first 2 books are arcs. I got them in advance. They come out, I think, next week or the week after. I will leave links to where you pre-order them. I don't want to talk about them yet because I want to get into it later, but I will say that I'm very, very happy with what I read. So the first book I want to talk about is The Extraordinaries by TJ Klune. I talked about how I want to get into TJ Klune's writing. I decided to start off with his YA debut. So this stars our main character, Nick Bell, in this imaginary place called Nova City. In this city, there are actual superheroes running around, and they are called Extraordinaries. And Nick is in love with one specifically, Shadowstar. So this book is a male-male romance, and Nick is obsessed with Shadowstar, and after a chance encounter where Shadowstar saves him, he's like, oh, do I have a chance? And at the same time, he kind of has these mixed feelings about his best friend, Seth Grey, because they've been friends for so long, and he's like, oh, there's something going on there. So yeah, so I will talk about my ratings, my thoughts, as much as I can say, because like I said, it hasn't come out yet, later. So the second book I want to talk about is another arc, like I said, and it is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. So this one has a fake dating trope. So the one before has a childhood friends, like literally childhood best friends, to possible maybe lovers, and this one is fake dating tropes. So here we have our main character, Luke O'Donnell, and he is the son of these 2 famous rock stars. They're separated, but they're famous, right? And his father, John Fleming, is making a comeback. However, that means that Luke is thrusted into the public spotlight again, and paparazzis are following him and everything. And so after a very fateful night where the paparazzi caught him in a compromising position outside of a club, he realizes that his fame is starting to affect his other parts of his life. So he realizes that he needs a clean and, respectable boyfriend. And that is where our other main character, Oliver Blackwood, comes in. So this one is kind of a fake dating where we both need fake boyfriends, let's say. Who knows, maybe actual feelings will rise up. So this is again a male-male romance. And in the Goodreads synopsis, the first line literally says, wanted fake boyfriend. I mean, that's it. I was like, yep, love this. So yeah, so like I said, I was very, very, very happy with what I read. These 2 arcs, we'll talk about that more later. So the 4th book I'm actually currently reading, because like I said, filmed this before. This is The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. So this stars our 2 main characters, Tiffy and Leon. So Leon needs someone who can help with the rent, I guess. And Tiffy needs an apartment quick after she and her boyfriend broke up. However, because it's the Flatshare, it doesn't mean they're going to be roommates in the traditional sense. So instead, they want to literally share the flat. because their schedules and their, like, when they have to work, when they have to sleep, and when they have to eat is so opposite, because he works nights, she works days, they'll never be in the apartment at the same time, because when she's eating and when she's sleeping, he will be at work, and vice versa. However, then they start leaving, at first, innocent notes for one another. They just say, oh, when do we have to take out the trash? I have leftovers if you need it. Can you please clean up after yourself? Stuff like that, just roommate stuff. But then they start talking about their, their past exes, their current love lives, their families, their friends, their work stuff. And they see that, oh, maybe. So I've had this, I think, since last year. I have heard very mixed reviews about this. Hopefully I'm leaning towards the positive so far. Okay, I'll give a little update because I don't plan on doing reading vlogs. It's okay. So far I will be giving this maybe 3.54 stars, which is not bad, because like I said, I've heard worse things about this, so I was kind of hesitant going in, but pretty good. I mean, look at how cute that is. That's the one thing I will give romances. Their covers are so freaking adorable. I mean, so the next book is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. So this stars our two main characters, Nicholas and Naomi. So they have been dating and then they got engaged, right? Normal stuff. However, I think like a year into their engagement, or like sometime into their engagement, they realized that, hey, we're pretty much doing this for the approval and for the pleasure, really, of our families, but not more so for the love that we seemingly have for each other, right? However, the catch is that whoever breaks off the engagement has to foot the entire marriage bill, which is obviously a lot. So of course neither one of them wants to do it, so they start doing this, I have to make you hate me, I'm going to do everything I can to make you hate me, annoy you, prank you, all of that. So as they're doing this, they realize, oh wait, I did like you at some point. What happened? This one I've actually heard literally, I think, only good stuff. So I'm going in this with high expectations, but I mean, look at that cover. So one thing is already checked off. Like, oh, it's so cute. I think this is kind of what would this be? Rivals to lovers, lovers to enemies to lovers. Okay, so this one is The Proposal by Jasmine Glory. I've had this book for so long. I've picked this up, I think, years ago. I think when it came out. So this stars our two main characters, Nicole with the K and Carlos. So Nicole is dating this kind of bro, semi-famous hipster guy, and I think Carlos is a doctor. So she's going out with this guy who doesn't even really know how to spell her name. One day she goes to Dodger Stadium to watch, a Dodgers game with him and his friends, and of course Carlos is there too. However, I don't know, probably like at the 7th inning stretch or something, her boyfriend proposes to her, and obviously Nicole was like, no, I don't want to marry you. And so she has to publicly reject him and then publicly escape, right? So then Carlos helps her escape. Carlos helps her with the aftermath, because everyone obviously hates her, because they're like, oh my god, how could you publicly reject someone? And then I think they start a friends with benefits kind of thing, but of course that turns into more feelings. I don't really like friends with benefits situations, me personally, like reading about them, not in real life, just in reading about them. That doesn't really interest me, but who knows, this looks good. So yeah, and again, that cover, adorable. And the last book, I finally got it, Felix Ever After. I mean, I'm sorry, but this takes the cake. Look at that cover. Look at that gorgeous cover. You should have seen this in the sunlight. It is so pretty. So this is Felix Ever After by Casey Calendar. So I kind of talked about this in my previous video. So this is supposed to be I think it might be a coming of age story. So we have our main character, Felix Love. Remember, Felix Love has never been in love. He's a senior in high school. Yes. And they say he's Black, queer, and transgender. So he starts receiving these anonymous messages. They're very hateful. They're transphobic. They even use his dead name, which is no. So he goes on this quest to try and figure out who is doing this, who would do this, right? And along the way, he falls in love. Yeah, he falls in love. And he I don't know how many people he falls in love with, because it says that there's like a love triangle, quasi love triangle. I mean, so yeah, so I'm really excited to read this one. I've only heard great things about it. Everyone on book Twitter, my mutuals, they are obsessed with it. They literally hate me for waiting this long to read it. I think this is going to be really, really good. Like I said, this is such an important book. And I mean, I literally would give it 5 stars just for the cover. I mean, look at that. Amazing. Amazing. Those are my 7 books. I will come back to you guys. Hopefully all of them are 5-star reads. But yes, see you guys soon. Ladies, do you burn the flowers that your fiance got you because you think they're poison and he's trying to kill you? Or are you normal? Okay, I'm back. Alexa, what day is it today?
It's Thursday, July 16th.
So literally almost 3 weeks. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I just got distracted. I started reading other things. I steered off course. But we're here. We are here. So to recap, 7 books. I will first start off with my least favorites, and then I will tell you which one is my absolute favorite. The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. I DNF'd this. I DNF'd this around like 20 or 30 pages in. This was just not good. This was my first Jasmine Guillory book. I really hope that her other books are good or better. There was just, the plot wasn't interesting. The characters, they had no depth to them. It was like if one character spoke, there was no distinguishable words or phrases or even like just dialogue to them, so you can literally just switch out any other character, put it in, and it's, you know, it's like there's nothing there. And the way that they talked, not realistic. People don't talk like that. So as I was reading it, like just like the first like 2 pages, I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. I literally could not get through this book, and I tried and I tried and I tried, but it felt like I was going to get into a slump if I continued reading this. So I was like, you know what? No, because I read this like around halfway through, so I was like, I won't be able to finish if I read this, because I just would stop reading books, period. So I DNF this. I don't recommend this. I don't know how it has Reese's Book Club. I feel like it, compared to the other books I read, felt very, very, very short. The Flatshare. This one was by Beth O'Leary. I give this one 3 stars. This was cute. This was cute. It was just like so we have our 2 characters, obviously, and we also have 2 points of views, and Beth O'Leary distinguishes the points of views by writing differently. So with Leon, it's a bit more short, his sentences. It's different dialogue, different way of thinking, so we know that's Leon's chapter. Basically, yes, they fall in love. I think they got engaged at the end. It was cute. It was cute. The romance and the relationship was fleshed out enough, not thoroughly, but enough. So we saw the beginning, the middle, and the end. We saw some hardships. We saw like the emotional baggage that people can bring into relationships, especially if they're just getting out of an old one. We saw that Tiffy goes through some emotional abuse from her past like long-term boyfriend, and we have her friends, we have his friends. It was cute. I think the fact I don't really remember much of it says something about it, so I think that's why I gave it 3 stars. But I feel like if you like romances, you will like this. I don't know if you'll love it, but you'll like it. I know that when I got through like the last 100 pages, I just kept on going because it was like the end game. They were like just about to finally get together. So at least there's that, you know, when you want, I was invested enough that I was like, okay, you guys need to get together right now. I had some laughs here and there. I did laugh out loud. So yeah, this was like middle-ish. The Last Two Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. This one I totally forgot to talk about. So this is a contemporary, I think, young adult coming of age romance. This one has Violet, our main character. She has there's a lot of trigger warnings for this one. Her brother tried to kill himself, so she got sent to Maine to live with her uncle, and that's where she meets all these new people: Orion, Liv, wink wink, Mariah, and Felix. And she's trying to find the shipwreck that her great grandmother survived from. So it's kind of like Outer Banks meets The Raven Cycle, but like not magical, kind of. It's more of just like this girl trying to find herself in the wake of a family disaster, and she finds love in Live. That kind of rhymed. So it's sapphic. It was cute. The romance in this was cute. I liked it enough. I gave this one 4 stars. I flew through this, I think, in like 2-3 hours, and I want to say that this was enjoyable enough that I remember most of it, even though I just read it last night. And I think it wasn't that heavy on the romance. It was more like Violet was trying to find herself and trying to improve herself and trying to help improve her brother and her family after this like really tragic stuff happened to them, just because like she tried and she accomplished like changing herself for the better, knowing what her faults were and realizing that she had a part to play in a lot of things that went wrong in her life, and she owns up to that and takes responsibility. So I really liked also Julia Drake's writing. I thought she had these really cool one-liners, and the way that she structures her books with like the title of the chapter, her chapters are kind of short. I really liked that. I just think the only reason why I didn't give this 5 stars was because I really didn't get into the book. It was more like I was reading it from like a surface level. None of the characters I really loved, and I was like, oh my god, yes. But it was a good romance. So, okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 5-star reads. But I will distinguish them like 5 stars, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. 5 stars being, you know, my least favorite of the 5 stars. And then 5.3 being my favorite book that I've read for this video. So my 5-star read is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. This one was so cute. This one was so freaking cute. I loved it. This was hilarious. It had a 1-bed trope, fake dating, strangers to kind of I don't really like you to okay I like you to I love you. This was so cute. It had found family tropes. So remember, we have our main characters, Luke and Oliver. Spoiler alert, they fall in love. And it was just really good, because this one's even more fleshed out from the Flatshare. We saw everything. We saw emotional baggage you can bring from your family, emotional baggage you can bring from past relationships that really messed you up, and how you can grow as a person, and how your significant other can help you grow as a person, and how you can find someone that you guys complement each other. So it's not just like you find it's not really opposite attract. It's more like you guys just fit. So, oh my god, this was so freaking cute. I recommend this to everyone. It is out now because I got it as an ARC. It is out now. Please go pre-order it. It is so cute. I don't even want to tell you how like individual spoilers, because I feel like you need to read it. Like, I read it all in one sitting because I just could not put my phone down. It was so good. You guys need to experience this without anyone telling you any spoilers, because I am so happy that I got it as an ARC because I didn't see anything. So I was totally surprised, and it was so good. Okay, 5.1 star, and this is the book that I talked about in my July book of the month unboxing, when I said that I didn't want to spoil myself anymore. It was Felix Ever After. So again, this is a coming of age about Felix, a transgender boy, and he is trying to fall in love. He wants to fall in love. And so at first I was like, oh my god, who is he gonna end up with? I was like, is he gonna end up with Declan? Is he gonna end up with Ezra? Spoiler alert, he ends up with Ezra. And I'm kind of mad about that, just because, no, I'm not mad about that. Scratch that. I meant that I'm mad that I didn't spoil that for myself, because I felt like I would have read the previous, because they had really cute moments in the beginning. And I feel like if I had knew that he would have ended up with Ezra, I would have taken those cute moments and looked at them differently. So I have to reread this. But yeah, I flew through this. This was so good. Case and Calendar, your writing, it was so good, and it had so many good important messages. And I feel like because this is a YA, so many teenagers are going to look at this, and they're going to read this, and they're going to feel so included and loved and valid, and yes, and this is who I am. I just feel like Case and Calendar wrote such a good story about finding your identity and finding out who you are and finding out who you like, and finding out that no one else can tell you who you are besides yourself. Only you can tell yourself who you are. And oh my god, Felix Ever After, easiest 5-star book I read. This was so good. This was so good. This was so good. So basically, Felix is trying to find himself. That's literally all you need to know. Felix is trying to find himself, and along the way, he finds love in the best way. Okay, 5.2. You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. Oh my god. This freaking book. I read this, I think, like within 2 or 3 hours. This book, this book is so good. This has everything. This has literally almost enemies to lovers. The hatred that they have for each other at one point is so good because the way that they prank each other, but then the second like chance to love, the way that they kind of fall back together and the way that they realize this was where we fell apart and this is how we can fix it. I hated second chance love. No, this made me love it. Naomi and Nicholas, they are like, I am so sad that they are not real people, because I want to like make fan camps about them. Like, I am so obsessed with them. I am now the third wheel in their relationship. Yeah, if you just need something that will make you laugh out loud, freaking out loud. Oh my god, I laughed so hard at this. That will make you just melt, that will warm your heart, that will literally be like coming home. This one, it was so basically, like I said, like they know that they don't want to be together, but the person who breaks up with the other person gets everything, gets the house, has to like foot the bill of the wedding, basically has to you know, face public shame, like, oh, you left your fiance, no, you left Naomi, no, you left Nicholas, right? So they don't want that because that's kind of embarrassing. So that's why they start playing pranks on each other. But along the way, they realize, like, oh my god, wait, like, because we're not so focused on falling in love and like maintaining our mask of being in love, we can be ourselves. And that's who we fell in love with in the beginning. Like, I fell in love with the Nicholas, I fell in love with Naomi, who like didn't care. And I think that's so wholesome. This relationship is so wholesome. I am obsessed. I am obsessed. This is one of my favorite books of the year, I'm telling you guys now, and one of my all-time favorite romances. So you guys are saying, who could beat that? 5.3. The book that I'm still thinking about to this day, even though I read it like almost 3 weeks ago. The Extraordinaries by TJ Klune. Let's just have a moment of silence. This book was unbelievable. It had everything. It had fan fiction. It had best friends to possibly lovers. It had the coolest sapphic relationship. It just had humor. Oh my god, I haven't laughed this hard in a book. I laughed harder than You Deserve It. Like, I haven't laughed this hard in a book in so long. It was comedic levels funny. Like, it was so funny. So we have our main character Nick, and he's in love with Shadowstar, but then he's like, oh my god, wait, my best friend might like me too. So it's kind of like, you know, and he kind of wants to become an extraordinary so he can fight battles and maybe fall in love with his favorite superhero, right? When I tell you Nick is the funniest narrator ever, he is the funniest narrator ever. I don't think I've ever, like, he is just so funny, and his relationships with his friends, with his dad, oh my god, with his dad especially, and also with his friends, the found family trope. Oh my god, I literally pre-ordered that so quickly, and it's out, by the way. Please go buy it. I'm gonna leave that link down. Please go buy it. It is so good. Like, I don't know, again, I don't want to spoil it for you, just because I just feel like you need to go in there blind, because it is so freaking good. Like, I could give this 10 stars. It is so good. Like, I feel like I've said that so many times, but it's that good. Like, it's just so good, because like we see also, like, he deals with ADHD and he deals with like panic attacks, and so the way that TJ Klune writes that is so authentic, because I sometimes deal with anxiety attacks. So when I read it, I was like, oh my god, that's exactly how they feel. Like he did his research. I don't know if he suffers from them, but he did his research, and it was authentic. And the way that he writes his relationships, like I said, Nick with his family, Nick with his dad, Nick with like his like mentor figures, like, it is so good. Like, it makes you feel, first of all, his writing is amazing just because it makes you feel like you're in Nova City. Let's just get that straight. His writing is so good, and the way that he writes his plots, they were not like confusing at all. I don't even know what to say. Like, it was so authentic, and I feel that if this is TJ Klune's first YA like debut novel, everyone else is in trouble. This is going to be so important for so many people for so many reasons, because Nick lost his mom. Nick is suffering with ADHD. Nick is coming to terms with his, you know, sexuality. Nick is coming to terms with the fact that he's growing up. Nick is coming to terms with the fact that he might not be like other people. Like, it's just, yes, it's, you know, fantasy, superheroes and all that, but it's also grounded in real life issues. And the fact that this is in a YA novel, so important. So important. So please go buy this book. It's so good. It is so good. Oh my god, I've said that so many times. I am really sorry. So yeah. So those were the 7 romances I read. Finally, we're done. If you take one thing away from this, know that, no, 2 things. I have a newfound respect for romances, and go buy The Extraordinaries. So I hope you like this. It took a really long time. I will hopefully get this up soon. And if you have any romance recommendations, what I look for in romances are angst. I need angst. I need some kind of angst. Miscommunication, unrequited feelings, breakups. I need some kind of angst. And my favorite are enemies to lovers. Best friends to lovers are, it's getting up there. Best friends to lovers. Second chance is getting up there. I literally just need angst. If you give me a good angsty romance, please hit me up. Give me those recs. I will be indebted to you. I did find some new relationships that I love though. Of course, Naomi and Nicholas from You Deserve Each Other, Ezra and Felix from Felix Ever After, Liv and Violet from Flatshare Poets of the Sea, Nick and blank, spoiler alert, Nick and Seth from The Extraordinaries. Literally, I think they kind of invented best friends to lovers. Luke and Oliver. That's it for me. I hope you guys like this. Stay safe and go read your favorite book for me.